Hey friends! If you're just getting started preparing for your baby, one of your first questions is probably going to be, where should I register? In this video, we'll talk about the pros and cons of all the places you could register for your baby. This is not a sponsored video, and at the end, I'm going to give you my honest opinion of where I would choose to register if I was going to do it today. So let's look at some of the options for baby registries. They basically fall into two categories. The first is store-specific ones. So this is things like Amazon, Target, Walmart, and Kohl's. The second main category is universal registries, so you can include items from anywhere all in one registry, so then you can send just one link to your guest, but you're not limited on what you can put on the registry. Let's take a look at some of those universal registries first. So the biggest one in this category is probably Babylist. One of the nice things about Babylist is it does let you compare the prices at different stores. And you can see I can buy this from Amazon, Target, or Walmart, and I can click right here to buy it from that store. But you see when I click to buy it, it's telling me I need to come back to Babylist to click the button that says I purchased this. So it's really depending on the buyer to remember to go back to the store and click this button. And Babylist is its own store. For example, this item is available at Babylist, so it's defaulting to me clicking add to cart and buying it directly from Babylist. And Babylist prices tend to be a little bit higher than other places, and you have to spend over $45 to get free shipping. And when you set up a Babylist registry, it can import your registries from Amazon and Target and other places, but it isn't keeping things synced with that registry. It's just pulling those items and putting them on the Babylist site. And if somebody buys something from Amazon, for example, that is not coming off your Amazon baby registry, and it's treated just as a regular Amazon purchase, not as a registry purchase. So for example, with Target, you get free registry returns for up to a year. But if it's bought through Babylist, you don't get that benefit because it's not a registry purchase, it's just a regular purchase. You might think that you're not going to return anything because you chose all these gifts, but you will probably end up returning something. You may end up getting duplicates of something and you'll need to return one. Or sometimes you just realize you didn't need the thing you thought you needed before you had the baby. And Babylist does offer group gifting, but essentially it's just the person giving a gift card to Babylist. So unfortunately, if they group gifted towards an item that goes out of stock, you're just stuck with Babylist shop credit. And again, they're more expensive, they charge shipping, and I've heard they're not the easiest to work with for returns. And Babylist does offer a completion discount of 15%, but it's a one-time use and it's only in the Babylist shop. Everything I've heard about Babylist makes me think it seems like a good idea, but it really just adds a lot of hassle for the gift giver and the gift receiver. Next up, let's take a look at myregistry.com. A big difference with myregistry versus Babylist is when you register at a separate store like Amazon, you can sync it to myregistry, and the Amazon registry will still stay active and it will sync with each other. So regardless if somebody purchased something directly on the Amazon registry or on my registry, it's going to get updated without anyone having to do anything. That means you get those benefits of the registry purchases like longer return times. And because it's a universal registry, it's easy to add one-off items from other stores around the web. My registry also allows you to create a cash fund so people can just give money towards gifts, but there is a 2.5% fee if you want to withdraw that. I did read stories about the syncing of registries is not perfect, and sometimes using my registry does lead to duplicate gifts. And I did read stories of people having some return problems and a lot of complaints about the my registry user interface being a little bit difficult to use. Another newer universal baby registry is Populist. This one is definitely different. Essentially, people are choosing a gift, but they're really just giving cash to Populist that then you can cash out for those items later. And then you choose when things are delivered, and you can change anything for cash at any time. While that might seem like a good idea, the biggest downside is the gift giver has to pay a fee for every single gift. It's kind of a strange system, and I couldn't really find anyone online who's actually used this yet. So if you've used Populist, I'd love to hear more about the pros and cons of it in the comments. Another universal baby registry is Zola Baby. Now Zola is mostly known for wedding registries, but they've started a baby version too. With Zola, they act as the store for most of the purchases, but you are able to add other items from around the web. They also do cash funds and have a 2.5% fee on the cash funds. So those are the main universal registries. Now let's look at some store-specific ones. One of the biggest is, of course, Amazon. Some of the pros of the Amazon registry are that they have pretty much everything, and they often have the best price on a lot of items. And pretty much everyone of any generation is used to using Amazon. And And if you get a gift through your registry, you do get 365 days to return the item. And they do have the best completion discount of any place I've seen, but you don't need to actually use the registry to be able to get the completion discount. You just have to set up the registry, have it open for a while, and you can use their completion discount. I have a whole separate video about the Amazon completion discount and how to get every single dollar out of it, so I'll link that one here if you want to learn more about it, but I wouldn't let the completion discount be the deciding factor for where you're going to register, because you can get it anyway. And the same is true for those free baby boxes. First of all, a lot of them are not free because you have to pay for shipping, but if you want any of them, you can easily get them yourself without actually using the registry. I have a whole video about how to get all the free baby boxes. I'll link that one right here. Now, some negatives about the Amazon registry. They do have some no-name items that might not be very good quality, and sometimes it can be hard to tell because there are so many fake reviews out there. I did read a lot of unfortunate stories about counterfeit items from Amazon too. You might register for a brand name baby product, but then some of the sellers might be selling counterfeit items and the gift giver doesn't realize they bought the counterfeit item, not the brand name thing. All right, so let's look at Target. Target carries a lot of great brand name baby products, and they're a lot less likely to carry junk like on Amazon. And if people are buying directly through Target, you're not going to end up with counterfeit items. Also with Target, you have the option of registering in store, or people can shop in store. It's just nice sometimes to be able to touch things before you buy them. And most people are familiar enough with Target that they're comfortable shopping there. The main negative of Target is they don't carry everything. Their selection's pretty good, but it's not nearly as good as Amazon's. Some other popular baby registry places are Kohl's and Walmart. The pros and cons of both of those are pretty similar to Target in that you can shop in store and they have some nice items, but they don't have everything. And I think the baby selection at Kohl's and Walmart isn't as nice as Target's. All right, so we've covered all the major options. So if I was gonna register for a baby today, where would I go? Personally, I would register at both Amazon and Target. I think between those two stores, you're gonna cover everything you really need. And I think with the combo of Amazon and Target, you get stores that people are comfortable shopping at, and you have the option of in-store shopping at Target. And I love that both of those stores give you a full year to return anything bought off your registry. If I really wanted to use a combined registry, I would consider using myregistry.com, but I would never use Babylist. I think Babylist just causes more problems than it solves. I am gonna leave links to the registries I talked about down below, and some of those are affiliate links, so if you buy anything or set up your registry through them, I would earn a commission. I hope this helps you make your decision. If you have any questions or thoughts about where to set up registries, I would love to hear your comments down below. Next up, check out my video about how to get 8 free baby boxes for your baby. I'll leave the link to that one right here, so watch that one next.